Hi, this is Eric and welcome to another tutorial. This is motion graphics, a low tad requested by one of my YouTube viewers. So let's just take a look at it. Just a director and Eric Casado, and after a while it swaps to editor, VF explained. Alright, to the effect libraries. If you can't find it, just click here and go to generators, and then we're gonna bring down Fusion Composite just so that we can get some frames to work with. And now we're gonna go on the Fusion page. Alright, so quickly this is what it's gonna give you, nothing else. I'm gonna expand my view here and then just bring this one down a little bit to get some more space. First thing, we just put on a background, view it, set the color to white, and then create a mask, and then just create it to about the size of our title. Right click and change the checkout underlay so we can get a black background. Create another mask, select the first mask, create another one, resize it, and then set the paint mode to subtract. This is going to subtract from the first one. We're going to select the first mask, we're going to click on uncheck solid, and we're going to increase the border width just to get the shape. An amount of 0.004 should do. Select the second mask and then reduce the size, the height, and then move it up just to match the upper line. I'm gonna zoom in my view to see it properly. Now we position it well just to match the top. The next we're gonna do is to create a dot here and another one here. So select the second mask, make sure it's centered, and copy it. Right click and paste as instance. You can see a green line connecting this one to this. That tells you that is an instance of the first one. We're gonna pipe it in here. So with that instance, right click the paint mode and de-instance it, and we're gonna change the mode to add. Now we're gonna paste another instance, copy it again just to be sure it's that one, paste another instance, and then we're gonna join it in here. So if we go back to this and then view this, we subtract this from this, we add this to it, and then we subtract again this from it. So what we can do is to increase de-instance the border width for the last one, and then increase it, decrease it to get the shape, and then we can also de-instance the height because we want to get rid of the top. So this is essentially what we're looking for. Now we can go to the original one and scale it down. Scale it down so we get this effect. What you do is to copy these three, copy and paste them normally, bring them here, and then we're gonna join them to the chain, and then disconnect this and join this to it. Let's go step by step and see. Select all of this and bring them down to the side. Nothing is happening because we need to update it. So let's go through one after the other. So this is subtracting as usual, second one is adding to it, and the third one is subtracted again. So we get that effect. So with the second one we can change the size. Also we're going to make sure that this is thinner than the top one. So we're going to select the last one and we're going to decrease the border width. Maybe we should begin to rename some of the ones that we're going to animate. It's this rectangle 2 and then this one. So we're going to select it, hit F2 and rename it to mask 1. Sorry, rename it again to mask 1, and then I'm going to rename this to mask 2. Because we'll be using expressions, that's why it's good to rename them so you can reference them easily. Alright, so now let's begin to add our text to it. Click the text, and then I'm gonna add it to the background to chain it up, and let's view it. Now let's type in some text like all caps director, sorry, and I'm gonna change the font to this font that I found online. It's free, you can get it, Agency FB, and then I'm gonna scale it down, I'm gonna move it up, and then I'm gonna go ahead ahead and then scale it down a bit more. I'm going to change it from bold to regular, and I'm going to increase the tracking to fill out the space. Scale it down again, and then increase the tracking to fill out this space over. That should do. You can also go into mask 1 and then just bring it down a little bit to align it a little bit. That should do. Now let's create our second text. Copy the same text and paste it, join it to the chain, and now we have our second text. This is our output we use later. So let's view so far. The second text, we're gonna move it down here, and we're gonna go in there and change it to my name. Sorry, that's not how I spell my name. And then I'm gonna change that one to bold. I'm gonna increase the size and also lift it up. The problem is we have too much space here, which is not doing anything, so you can take care of that. So what we could do is to go to the original rectangle and then decrease the size. Of course that's going to mess up our work, so we're going to go in there, select all of this, shift them down, select your text, shift it down, and then we're going to select all of this again, shift them up, select our second text, and then shift it up. It seems like we have an error here. Let's view it one after the other so we can see where the problem is. Second mask has to come down. The third mask, that's fine. Fourth mask, that's okay. We go here again, and again. Okay, so we know the problem is here. This one is way too big, so we have to bring it down. That's what's causing the problem. That's okay. And then we can just view our text. So that is good. The reason about this here is to differentiate between the two. So now we have our text and we have our mask done. Let's go ahead and start our animation. So what we're gonna do is to shut. The next thing we have to do actually is to consider the masking of the text as well. As it stands, if we shut our line, it doesn't affect the text. We need to make sure it affects it. So I'm gonna just send it somewhere about there, and then I'm gonna use that mask for the text. Let's see, that doesn't do the work, so we can use the next one to mask it, and that works. So whenever we change this one, it masks the text as well. Fantastic. Let's do the same to the second text. So that means we can just hook this mask into it to mask this one as well. So whenever we shut this, it should also mask it. Good. So I'm gonna mask all of them, shut them to 0. Now let's begin to animate our main rectangle. So I'm gonna go up to frame 30. Now I'm gonna set a keyframe on the width, and I'm gonna come back to frame 0 and shut it to 0. So when we play, this is what we get. Good. I'm gonna go in and then right click the edit, the width, and say edit. But you want to make sure that your spline is being displayed, and then you can see that it's here. Check it and it will show you the spline. I'm gonna select all of it, Control A, and use Shift S to smoothing it. You can click here to frame it. Right, you could expand it. Now we're gonna select this one and then just let it settle down a little bit, and then also we want it to start very quick and then settle down really slow. So when we play, this is what we get. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is to make sure our link, we use expression to link, get this information, this animation, and then use that to animate the first line and then the second line. So let's go into the first line with the mask 1, and then in the width we're gonna put an expression on it, and then we're gonna go in and say we want to get expression on rectangle 1. I've used this expression before in the BBC tutorial, so you should know about it. So I'm gonna type in rectangle 1. Sorry about that, it should be the same spelling that is here. So I'm gonna make sure it's my cuts. So rectangle 1, and I'm gonna put semicolon, and I'm gonna put get value. Sorry about that. It should be get, and then capital V, A, and value, and then open parentheses, close parentheses, and then we're gonna put a quotation inside there, and then the value we want to get is called the width. That's what we animate it, and then we'll put a comma, and then the time we want to get it, so time minus 5, so we're gonna get it in 5 frames after it's being played. So let's see what that does. That does a good work, but it's really too much, so we can just say at the end of the expression we can say multiply it by 0.4. That should reduce it. So let's go with 0.3. That's too small, so 0.45. That should be, so let's make it like 0.5. That's still too small. Let's go to frame 30 where the animation is settled, so we know what we're doing. Alright, so I think about 0.45 should do. That's it. So we play the animation, 5 frames later it animates the first mask. That should good. Now we're going to copy the same expression and then go into mask 2. I'm going to put an expression on the width, paste the same expression there, but this time we're going to make sure that we end at frame 75, because we multiply by 75 because the text is longer than the first one, so that way you can reveal all the text. And also we don't want it to, we want it to delay more than that, so we can say delay by 10 frames minus 10 instead of 5, so it doesn't happen at the same time. Alright, good idea to save. And good. So now we can see that when we play, this one starts 5 frames later, this one starts 10 frames later, and it repeats the animation quickly. Good. Now let's see how we're gonna add some colors to it. We're basically done. So now you might say, why don't we just easily go in here and then change the color? Yeah, it will work. Alright, you can change the color. You can just select any color that you want for this text. That should work fine. You can also come in here and change the color for this one, and that should be easy. But the problem is, when we animate it, you can see that the color is being blended in here. Fine, that could be some good style for a different animation, but because we're stacking the mask on top of each other, whatever color that is in here is gonna add the color to the main one, except white. So we rather, you know, it's not a good idea to change the colors there, so we're gonna set the colors back to white, and we use a different technique to change the colors. So let's go to about frame 30 where everything is visible, and let's see how we can change these colors. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna right click and go to add tools. We're gonna go to color, and then we're gonna go to color again. I'll select the color again here, and then we can pipe it in here. What it's gonna do is we could just gain any colors. We'll begin to reduce the green. We're just gonna reduce green and blue just to get a color that we want. Let's say this is the color we're looking for. About there. Let's just play around until you get a desired color. So let's see, this is the color we want, but it's affecting everything. That's okay, that's fine. We're gonna create a mask on that color again, and then with that mask we're gonna restrict it to only affect this area, this text. Yeah, don't bother too much about it. But the problem is when you begin to play the animation, it doesn't work. You know, it's not gonna work as you know. So what we can do is we're gonna have to link this new mask with our animation, and that's so easy. So how we can do that is very, very simple. So we wanna match it with this mask here. So mask 2, we're just gonna go in here and say put an expression on the width, and then we're just gonna type mask 2 dot width. As simple as that. And you can see it's overlapping and it's coloring the edge. You can do that if you want, but we just wanna just subtract 0.01 from it, so it doesn't overlap. So that's as simple as that. So that means we can copy the same thing and paste, then pipe it in here again, and then we're gonna mask the top one here, and if you view this, that's gonna be the color for this. So we can just go in and change this color to a different color, more blue, that's red. Alright, we can just keep it like this, it's not bad, but we just want to make sure that it's not using the same mask. So now we're going to change it, the mask here, to mask 1 instead of mask 2, because we want to use this mask right here. That's what is good to name them. So now you can see you have a little bit overlap, but that's cool, that's okay. So pretty much done. We can just come in here and then we're gonna press enter and then add, let's say the second one's gonna be editor. It should be all in caps, editor. And because we already have the masks there, we can actually just reposition it which one we want. So this is what we're going to be animating, so we just set it to director, back again, and then go into your second text. It's so easy. We don't want to animate up and down, we're going to animate left and right, so we're going to just put space in there, type in VFX and just make sure you give enough space, so if you bring it here you can test it the same. That's it. And now you see we have a very big gap. We're going to take care of it whilst we animate, so just bring it back to this. And now let's go and first one we're going to go to animate the positioning, so that can be found under layout and you can set animation on it. So we can just play animation about 50 frames. At 50 frames we're going to set animation on it, and then we're going to move it to like 60 frames, and then we're just going to shift it up to editor. Now let's go into the animation, just frame it, the spline, and then we can select all of it, shift S to smoothing it, just let it settle down. We're going to create a little bounce here. If you play, you can see it just goes like that. We just want a little bounce. So what about here? We're going to click there to add a point, and then we're going to increase this point here. We're going to bring it up and then drag it a little bit up. That will create a little bounce, not enough. And then right about here, put another point down there. Just shift this one back a little bit, and then with this point we can now increase this one to create some kind of an M shape, like an M. That should do, yeah, an M for our bounce. So that gives like that little bounce over there. Good. So that's the M shape that we want. We're gonna go ahead and do the same thing to our second text. It should bounce like that. We're gonna animate the main rectangle. That's gonna close the gap. We're gonna go to frame 50 and we're gonna set keyframe on it, on the width. Move ahead to frame 60 and then close the gap. This one is delayed, it's getting 10 frames later. That means we might wanna isolate this. Just go to the spline view, isolate this rectangle. That's what we want. Just deselect this one, and then we want to isolate this rectangle. I think it's rectangle 1 mask. That's what we want to isolate. Rectangle 1 width. So this is the second animation that we created. So we can just bring it back, select these ones, and then we can actually frame it, smoothen it, and then we want to shift it back because it's gonna delay, so it has to happen really quick. The way to do that is you're just gonna click on this one here, and then it will give you this to adjust it, so it happens really quickly. That's it. There you go. So we can save it. this, you have to turn motion blur on. So select this one. We're going to turn motion blur for all the masks. For just this first mask, you go to the settings and turn on motion blur, and then select this mask. Because it's been instanced, it will motion blur these two as well. If you turn this one on, you can see you don't have to turn motion blur for this and that. They're already there because they're being instanced. So you're going to do the same thing for this instance as well. Motion blur on, and these two have been taken care of already. And then we also want to set motion blur for the text. Turn it on. And the text too, motion blur on, and that should do. Alright, so you can pipe it into your output. You can go back to the edit page, and I'll show you how you're going to reverse this animation. If you right click the clip, for some reason you cannot reverse, change the speed of a composite clip. So in order to do so, right click and create a new compound clip, just any name will do. And now that is a compound clip. When you right click it, you can have access to change the clip speed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy the same thing, paste it somewhere here, and then I'm gonna change that one, right click and change the speed. I use reverse speed, and then also I want it to be a bit faster, so we can make it minus 120 or 150 or 140, change the speed. So what that one is doing is reversing the speed. So we can come into where it starts going back, so from somewhere about here, and we can trim it, and then we can come in here whenever we want to reverse it. This is our first one. As I set those down, change to the second text, wait for a while, and then we can join this to it. The one that's gonna rewind it. So that's how you do a lower third. And with this, it's easy. You can actually go in and reposition it, or scale it, put it wherever you want to put it. You can always dive into that compound clip, right click it and say open in timeline to get your composite. So if you come in the composite, you can always go into change whatever you want to change. For instance, I can add a transform here, a transform node at the end. Then I can scale it up. You can also right click and turn the guides on, show guides, so we can reposition the whole thing, the lower third. Scale it up to our taste. Go back to your edit, and everything should be fine. So you can go back to the main timeline by clicking here, take it to the main timeline, and there you have it. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it for it to render. Thanks for watching. It's been Eric, and keep your comment down there.